In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NHL games happening on October 24th, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NHL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. St. Louis Blues versus Winnipeg Jets. The St. Louis Blues face the Winnipeg Jets with both teams off to promising starts to the season. The Blues are 3-0 to start the season, while the Jets started the season 2-1 but hope to rebound from consecutive losses as they're 2-3 on the season. Both teams are looking to start the season on the right foot in the Central Division and the Western Conference, and the upcoming game should be a good one as a result. While the Jets did win 3 out of 4 games against the Blues last season, St. Louis is off to a very hot start to begin this season. They have won each of their first 3 games. The offense was hot in the first 2 games for the Blues. They scored 4 goals or more in each of their first 2 games. They scored 2 goals in their third game, but Jordan Binnington recorded a shutout. Binnington has started each of the first 3 games, and he has not allowed more than 3 goals in any game. Winnipeg is struggling. They have lost 3 out of their last 4 games. Their offense was poor in each loss, scoring 2 goals or less in each of their 3 losses. All 3 of Winnipeg's losses have been by 3 goals. The St. Louis Blues have a smaller sample size than most teams at this point, but they've been absolutely dominant at both ends through 3 contests. With an elite-level defense, it's hard to step in front of the Blues based on what we've seen up to this point. The Winnipeg Jets will be up for this game at home, but their defense has been spotty, and that's concerning when going up against an above-average side. St. Louis is playing very good hockey to start the year, and they will take care of business against the Jets. So the St. Louis Blues money line is our full game side pick. Both the Blues and Jets have 2 of the most under-the-radar great goaltenders in the NHL. St. Louis Jordan Binnington worked in tandem with Ville Husso to help lead the team to the second round of the playoffs last night. He also did his part in keeping 3 of the 4 meetings between these teams under the total last season. If that wasn't enough, he just helped shut out Connor McDavid and the Oilers. Similarly, Jets goalie Connor Hellebuyck has quietly been one of the best in the league for several years. While he may not have the name recognition of Tampa Bay Lightning's Andrei Vasilevsky, it was Hellebuyck that led the NHL in saves made last season. He was in net for each of the Jets' big wins against the Avalanche and Rangers, and the Blues lost David Perron in the offseason. St. Louis is still a deep team that should have a solid season, but the Jets can keep this game low scoring. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Toronto Maple Leafs versus Vegas Golden Knights. The Toronto Maple Leafs will be going for their 3rd consecutive win when they face the Vegas Golden Knights on Monday night. The Maple Leafs are coming off a 4-1 win over Winnipeg. The Golden Knights are coming off a 3-2 loss to Colorado. Toronto is 6-2-0 in 8 games against Vegas. It's no surprise that this game is being listed as a pick-em, as these are 2 very similar teams with similar postseason aspirations. The best way to describe both the Leafs and Knights would be teams with household, high-caliber names that make them postseason bound, but not quite Stanley Cup worthy. While it's been Toronto fans that have been disappointed with the team's early exits in the playoffs, at least they made it that far. Vegas was arguably the biggest disappointment last year and didn't even make the postseason. Admittedly, injuries played a large part in that. However, they also sent elite goal scorer Max Pacioretty to the Carolina Hurricanes for virtually nothing in return. That's not good news when facing a Leafs team that beat the Knights in both of their meetings last season. Toronto won those games by a combined score of 8-3, and they're entering this one after winning their previous 2 games. Meanwhile, the Knights have lost 2 of their last 3, and their place in the Pacific Division is a bit deceiving. 2 of their 4 wins have come by way of the Chicago Blackhawks and Seattle Kraken, who are 2 of the worst teams in the Western Conference. On the other hand, the Leafs have beaten stronger teams like the Dallas Stars and Washington Capitals. Toronto's Austin Matthews had 3 of his NHL-leading 60 goals last season. Expect him to lead his team to a W on Monday, so the Toronto Maple Leafs money line is our full game side pick. The Maple Leafs are averaging 3 goals per game and 3.5 goals per game on the road. They averaged 3.33 goals per game in their last 3 games against the Golden Knights. With Vegas giving up 2 goals per game at home, the Maple Leafs will be held under their average in this game. The Golden Knights are averaging 3.17 goals per game and 3.66 goals per game at home. They averaged 2.33 goals per game in their last 3 games against the Maple Leafs. The Golden Knights and Maple Leafs played under the total in 3 of their last 4 meetings. The Leafs and Knights have both been inconsistent at times this season, particularly on offense. Despite their 4-2 records, Thompson and Samsonov have played well in nets for their respective teams. But Matthews only has 1 goal, and Vegas hasn't looked the same offensively so far this season. Vegas is still working out their chemistry with Kessel and Pacioretty gone, and Toronto isn't getting the same production from Matthews and the Leafs' top line that this team has gotten from the unit in previous years. The Leafs have only given up 3 goals in their last 2 games combined, and Toronto held a Stars team that had been very impressive offensively to just 2 goals. This should be a close game, and both teams will likely play with some added intensity since this is a matchup between 2 teams that are supposed to be contenders this year. With Toronto giving up 2.5 goals per game on the road, the Golden Knights won't score enough goals to push the score past the total. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Carolina Hurricanes versus Vancouver Canucks. The Carolina Hurricanes and Vancouver Canucks meet Monday in NHL action at the Rogers Arena. The Carolina Hurricanes look to build on their 3-1-1 record. The Vancouver Canucks look to rebound from a rough 0-4-2 start. What is happening in Vancouver? Their 5-game road trip to begin the season could not have gone worse, going 0-3-2 and blowing leads in each game. What came next was a 5-1 pounding during their home opener to the mediocre Buffalo Sabres. This resulted in a Canucks jersey being thrown on the ice by a fan, and while it's incredibly early, can you blame them? Next up, they host a powerhouse Carolina Hurricanes team, which is not good. Carolina has been superb this season, as expected. They sport a 3-1-1 record. Vancouver's offense, defense, and goaltending have all been atrocious, and playing a well-balanced team like Carolina is not a great scenario to clean up their play. There aren't many teams that will beat Carolina with the level they are playing at, especially a team who is currently a mess. I expect Vancouver's locker room to feel a high level of pressure mixed with some intimidation of a strong opponent, so expect the Hurricanes to completely belittle them. The Vancouver Canucks have shown nothing through 6 games that makes me want to get behind them. The Canucks have issues finishing games and their defense is god-awful, especially when it comes to defending the power play. The Carolina Hurricanes have been one of the more trustworthy teams in the league dating back to last season, and they have the offensive firepower to give the Canucks issues. This one could be over from the opening face-off. Take the exceptional value of a regulation win by the Hurricanes. One could even argue this line should be a lot steeper, so the Carolina Hurricanes money line is our full game side pick. The Canucks are one of the worst teams in terms of goals against per game, but one thing they have going for them is their opponent ranks in the middle of the league in goal scoring. Carolina will be able to find the back of the net, but I don't see them running up the scoreboard, as that is not their style. Additionally, the Hurricanes currently rank in the top 4 in defense, so good luck if you're Vancouver trying to score. This will be a low-scoring game and a full shutdown effort from Carolina. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.